Hello everyone. You're welcome back to my channel. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much. You're welcome to another episode. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you're also welcome. So this is African Cyber Girl. This is where I share my journey from zero to cyber assured cloud security engineer. And today we're going to be doing something a bit different. If you've been consistent in my videos, you'd notice that I usually start by doing some sort of explanations with AI photos and stuffs. So I want to do something different, right? And that is, I will just go straight into showing my screen because I've noticed something. The essence of all of this is for recruiters to come to my channel when I share them my channel link to see that this is what I've done, this is what I'm capable of doing, right? And I don't think they would like to sit through all the stories that I'm telling, right? So I'm doing something different. And today we're going to be doing Bastion. This is how I am building my own Bastion, right? So the first thing that we're going to be doing, like every other steps that we've been doing from the beginning, is creating a resource group. But before we do that, I would like to create a situation, right, on how or where you would certainly be that would demand you to, use a bastion, because the essence of all of these things that we're learning is to know how to apply them and when to apply them, okay? So if you know how to apply them, but you don't know when to apply them, it's still not balanced, okay? So I'm going to be creating a situation, and that situation is, let's say there's a fast-growing fintech startup in Yaba, Lagos, okay? Let's call it Payshore. They've just expanded its engineering team, and developers need access to their virtual machines in Azure to test new payment APIs. But the company's CTO is worried because exposing this VM directly to the internet could invite cyber attacks, and that is when we are going to implement Bastion. This right here is my Udemy, and I'm just showing you the name of the course that I took that made me understand how to, do this. Is by Ryan O'Connell. It's a free course, by the way, on Udemy, so you can check it out if you like. But I'm certainly sure that you'd like my explanation better. And one of the things that I think I should prepare you for is that at the time he did this video, it's a way long, and Azure has evolved, right? They've updated their UI, and some of the things that he's doing might not be what you might be experiencing. And if you're watching at this particular time, you need me. Okay, so, right, let's get into a hands-on. And the first thing we'll be doing is to create a resource group. We can do that here. We can do that here. But I like to do that here. Okay, let's do that here then. Resource group here. And right. So here we create a resource group and the create button. All we just have to do is to give this resource group a name, and then we just review and create. For me, I'd like to name my resource group something similar to what I'm working with for easy identification. So I'm giving this BAS resource group, and then I come over here to review and create. Okay, so we'll come here, create, and then we'll wait for that to create. Hopefully validation has passed. Okay, so our resource group has been created already. And the next thing we're going to be doing is creating a virtual network, because the Bastion has to sit somewhere. Okay, and we come over here to click on virtual network. Okay, this is virtual network here. And then come over here to create. Okay, so for our resource group, we had created one earlier, and we'll come down and just pick a BAS resource group here. That was when we created, and we'll give our virtual network a name of, let's say, BAS VN, like so, and we come over here to click on next. Now, for security tab, we have the virtual network encryption, we have the Azure Bastion, we have the Azure Firewall, we have the Azure DDoS network protection. But we are not going to be using any of this, just the Azure Bastion. When you enable this, we have access to other informations, right? The first thing is the Bastion host name. So you might decide to leave this as Bas VN Bastion, right? And you can decide to change it if you'd like. But I think I want to leave my own as Bas VN Bastion, okay? The only thing I'll be changing is the public IP. So I'm going to be creating a new public IP and I'm giving this Bash PIP, right? That's what I want to do, and you click on OK. So remember that this is our Bash host name, Bash VN Bastion, and we'll come over here to next for the IP addresses. So one of the reasons why I said, going back to that tutorial, right, when I was learning it, I realized that in the IP addresses tab, there are no Azure Bastion subnet wasn't automatically generated here. So when you click on Enable Bastion in the security tab, it just, gives you access to where you put in the IP and everything. But in this recent version of the Azure Portal, it's automatically there. So I'll just have to just edit this default name for easy identification as well. And I'd like to give this default name Bass. Let's say Bass subnet. Yeah. There's an IP range, starting IP. Everything looks good. Comment save. And that is saved. We move on to tags. We don't need any of those things. So move on to review and create. So while we're waiting for our final validation to be completed, hopefully we do not encounter any errors. Yeah, we're good, right? Validation passed, to come over here to create. So usually it takes between 5 to 10 minutes for the virtual network to, complete the deployment, right? And I'll be pausing this video. We'll come back when the deployment is complete, and then we'll continue building our Bastion. And okay, our deployment is complete. So if we check our resource group here, or we come to home here, and we check our resource group here, we can see the resources that has been deployed. We can see the virtual network. We can see the Bastion's server. We can see the public IP that we also created when we were creating the virtual network. So we are good to go. The next thing that we are going to be doing is creating a virtual machine, okay? And we can come here and just, come over here to virtual machine. All right, and come over here to create virtual machine. Okay, so our resource group here will still be our Bastion resource group, right? Because we're still working with Bastion. Our virtual machine name can be Bastion VM, okay? Right, and region is US, okay. Availability option, availability zone, okay. For my image or operating system, I'd like to just do this Windows 2022, right? And for the size, you can see that it's not available in zone 1, but zone 3 is or are supported. So just uncheck this and keep it in zone 3. Come over here, and we don't have that error message anymore. But for username, I like consistency a lot, right? I'm trying to stick with AZ admin, okay. And password, I've used this before, but let's see. Okay, right. All right, so that is created. Move on to Dix. So for our Dix type would be standard, right? Because we're just doing the hands-on. I'm just practicing what I've learned so far, so we don't need to go premium. Every other thing looks good. Move on to networking. Okay, so this is loading. This is loading. Okay, so we can see the Bastion resource group that we created. Our subnets, public IP. We just come over here and click on this public IP. Like we change it from this to this. So every other thing we'll leave it as they are, right? And then we'll come over to management. All right, so for management, I don't think we have to change anything here. Auto shutdown, we'll definitely be deleting this afterwards, so there's no need for auto shutdown. For monitoring, we can disable both diagnostics and we can, come all the way to advanced tags and then review and create. Okay. All right, so our virtual machine is running the validation test, and let's see the result of this validation test. Okay. Pass the validation test to come over here to create our virtual machine. Usually it doesn't take a long time, right? In less than 2 minutes, this should have been created, but I would pause this video and come back when that is done. Okay. All right, our virtual machine has been deployed, or the deployment is now complete. So we can move over to resource. Okay, and we're going to try to connect this virtual machine via Bastion. Okay, so you can do this. You can come over to this connect here and connect here in Bastion, or you can come over to the connect here and connect via Bastion. Okay, so we can connect via Bastion here and right. So I actually proceeded to deploying Bastion, and currently it's creating a new Bastion. If you check the notification here, you see that it successfully added this Azure Bastion subnet to the virtual network, and at the moment it's creating a new Bastion. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I'm going to be posting this video and we'll check back later to see how long. It's funny that the tutorial I took did not have to go through all of this. I'm telling you, if you check that tutorial, Bastion in particular, that video was no more than 9 minutes. It was so straight. It just came, deploy Bastion, and then opened another web tab, another tab in his browser that just took him to his virtual machine. But I have to go through all those things, and it's good. I like challenges, by the way, so I'm open. I'm guessing this is going to take a long time, so let us just come back in a few minutes to see that this is working. Okay, so a new Bastion has been created. We can see it here. Successfully created a new Bastion. It's funny how I just did not experience any of this when I was watching the tutorial. This is my first time trying this, by the way. So these things are pretty new to me. And while that was succeeded, we have a protocol RDP. Let's check what SSH has. Port 22. Yeah, so we're going to go via SSH because it's actually supposed to open in a new browser tab. So the whole essence of Bastion is to be able to SSH into your virtual machine without, going through the front door. So let's do this, right? And the username of my virtual machine is what I'm going to be using here alongside the password of my virtual machine. So the username of my virtual machine is azadmin, right? One of the reasons I wanted to do that. And then the password, you can see it here. So it's there, and then we can proceed to connecting. Oof. So guys, welcome to my virtual machine. I'm excited. Allow, please. I'm excited that this works. The network connection to Bastion host appears unstable. but this is how it's going to be like, or this is how it's going to look like, because you can do this by opening into a new tab, and you can also go back to RDP and try to reconnect. Either ways, it's going to work. So I'm getting that notification. I want to assume it's my network. Appears unstable. Okay, so I'm getting this warning that the network connection is to the Bastion node appears unstable. So I'm going to suspect that that is my internet connection. But let me know whoever has been able to do this, and let's see if you were able to follow the steps that I followed, and we're able to get access to your Bastion. So we've tried with SSH. Our port is 22, right? That's the default port for SSH. Okay, so for RDP, let's try. All right, let's put in the password for this, and let's see how our RDP can still connect with Bastion. Okay, so it is also going to open in a new browser tab. Amazing. So let's connect this. Whilst we're waiting for this, okay, I feel like I'm going to get that error. Oh, okay, so I didn't get that error message. That's surprising. So what was wrong? Because this is RDP and it's working. Like, this is literally my virtual machine working. This is my server manager starting. So what happened, guys? Please, I need your help in the comment section. Okay, because this is okay. Let me just try to reconnect this again. And let's see if I'm still going to get that. I'm getting the network connection to this Bastion appears unstable, but I could RDP into this. This is my Bastion virtual machine, guys. This is Bastion. This is just literally after a new Bastion was created. And I mean, you guys were with me all through, right? Okay, so at least we've been able to do this, okay, and to the largest things, we've been able to work with Bastion and see how it works. But for the experts that most likely be seeing this, or maybe you have an idea as to why this had a network error, even if I have to refresh this, close, okay, let's try to start it again. Open, and let's see if something new, because I thought it was my internet connection, but then this worked, right? But then it's showing that the network connection to the Bastion appears unstable. Okay, guys, this is where I was stopping for this video. Most likely ask a few people, and I'll get back to. I'm most likely going to do a part 2 to this and just see how we can, if that is an actual problem, and I'm leaving the comment section to you guys also to help out. For now, we can see here that this is functioning, working. Want to show our hidden icons, show this. No new notifications. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Please do like this video. It encourages me to create more, because I know that there's someone there is watching, and whatever I'm doing resonates with you, or is something that, just touches you, okay?